Today we're going to be adding color to our canvas. So you want to go ahead and go to your stack and then open up your drawing, your picture. And let me check the layers really quick. So you want to go ahead and turn off your sketch. That's your layer one. So you turn it off by clicking on that little square right there. And we're going to be adding the color differently this time. We're going to do color drop, but we're going to do a layer for every color. So if I use red, that's going to be a layer. If I use blue, that's going to be a layer. So each layer is, each color is going to be a different layer. So I'm going to go ahead and click the plus sign, and making sure I'm on that layer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in my sun with a color here. So I'm going to go to the orange, and then I'm going to color drop. Oops, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on reference. So go to your drawing layer and turn on reference. Now go back to your layer here, your color drop layer, and go in and color drop. So even though I'm doing the sun up here, there are some layers that I'm going to want to be orange as well that are on my birds. Okay, so for my bird here, I'm going to want their beak to be orange. So I'm going to come over here and drop in orange. And I also want his little feet to be orange. So everything that is orange. And if you forget, like say, I forgot to do the beaks, I could always go back to the orange layer and work on it. So I'm going to rename this, rename it, and I can scribble across it, and I'm going to call it orange. You'll have to type it, okay? So there's my orange layer. So now I'm going to add another layer. So, because I'm going to change my color. But if I ever need to add orange again, I'm going to go back to my orange layer. So I'm going to add a layer, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do blue for the sky. So I'm going to whip around here, and I'm just going to grab a blue, and you can use any colors you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to drop here. Okay, and I'm going to name this, I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to call it light blue or L blue. Okay, and now I'm going to go in, and there's other places that I want to add that light blue too. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to add that light blue to his little tail feathers. Okay, and I want to add light blue to her little tail feathers. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to do another layer here, and I'm going to do the white for the clouds, because remember, even though it looks like it's white, it's kind of a fake white. So if I turned off the background, you see that there's no white there. So I'm going to add a layer. I'm going to rename it, and I'm just going to call it white. And I'm going to choose white. No, that didn't work out so good. White. Okay. And I'm going to choose white. I'm going to do color pick off the page here to choose it. And then I'm going to do my clouds. Let's see. Oh, something's stuck. Okay, here we go. White and white. And now when I check my layer or my background down here, when I remove it, you can now see that there's white, which You guys can't see that for some reason, but it is white there. Okay, so my next step is I am going to turn back my background back on. And you guys cannot see this, so I'm going to adjust my light. Okay, this is a little bit better, but as you can see, I have white clouds. And so every layer is going to be a new name. So I'm going to add a layer here. And now I'm going to choose, I'm going to go ahead and do my ground. So I'm going to choose a green. Okay, and this is going to be a light green. So on my layer, I'm going to rename it light green or ale green. Okay, and now I'm going to go in and color drop that light green into different areas. So this area right here is all one light green. So I'm going to, come in and drop it. And let me check to make sure it's connected over here. And right here. And I think right there. Okay. And then I'm going to come in and pick another area to do that light green. So I'm going to do light green here. And actually, this is a good place. I did not extend this far enough out, so that's why it filled up both these areas. So now I'm going to go all the way down to my drawing layer. Make sure that I've chosen black. And I'm going to extend that to go off the page. Now I'm going to go back to my light green area, color pick, and now I can come here and put it there and it doesn't go in there. All right, here we go. And now I'm going to do a medium green. So I'm going to add another layer, change it to a medium green, and I'm going to name that layer medium green or M green. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and start color dropping the medium green. And there's a little spot right there. And even in his little toe, if you see that right there, in his little toe, there's a white spot. So just make the screen bigger or your canvas bigger. And then you can fill that in. And I'm going to do, let's see, medium green here. But I noticed I didn't fill in those. So I'm going to go back to my light green. Actually, I'm going to keep it with my medium green. All right. And we're just going to go and fill here. And then go right there. And then I'm going to go here. All right. And so I have one more green I want to use, and that's a dark green. Okay, so you can only imagine. I'm going to add a layer, rename it D green. Okay, and then drag that down at the bottom and over here. So now what's left is for me to actually do my letters and stuff. And so I'm going to go through and add colors. So I'm going to add another layer, rename it. And you do not have to rename it if you do not want to, but it is a good practice to do. So this one's going to be pink. And I'm going to choose a pink color for this bird. Great. Now I'm going to go over here because I want some pink over here too. So on a little Y here, I'm going to do little pink feathers here, and his little wings are going to be pink. And then I'm going to do his tail pink. And then I'm going to zoom out and see if there's anything else that I want to turn pink. Oh, maybe her wing here. Be a nice pink. Oops, undo. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the rest of the letters. And so I need a new layer. And for this one, I'm going to do yellow. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to choose yellow. Okay, and then come in and drag. And then there's some spaces on here. I want his feet to be yellow. And let's see, her little things in her little feathers on top of her head, I want those to be yellow. And I'm going to do yellow eyebrows on him. And his eyelids here. Oh, and maybe his mouth, his little beak. Okay. Well, you know what? No, I want his beak to be orange like everybody else's. So I'm going to go back to my orange layer. Okay, I'm going to choose a color pick, the orange, and then drag it to his mouth. Okay. I also want to add, let's see, go back to the yellow layer, and I think I'm going to turn her yellow too. And then I'm going to do her eyelid as well. This yellow color. Okay. All right. Is that yellow or orange? Oh, I'm on the orange. Hello. Let me undo that because I'm on the yellow layer and I want her to be yellow. So I'm making sure I'm on the yellow layer, color pick the yellow, and then come back and color her the yellow. Awesome. Okay, got a couple more things to do here. I'm going to create another layer, and for this one I'm going to do purple. So I'm going to rename it and color it purple. And I'm going to choose purple, and then I'm going to color drop purple, and I'm going to put purple on some of these other ones. So I want purple on his feathers. Okay, and then I'm going to do another layer. And this one is going to be, I think I'm going to do like a dark blue. So I'm going to name it D Blue. And he's going to be dark blue. And I think I'm going to use dark blue on these feathers here too. Now we're going to check really quick. We're going to turn the background off to see what we're missing, because I know what we're missing, but I want you to be able to look to see what you're missing. Okay, so I'm going to also use blue here on the eye. All right, so everything looks great, but to check it, you're going to go all the way down here to your background and turn it off, and you can see the whites of their eyes I have not color dropped white in. So I'm going to go to my white layer, which is down here. I'm going to tap there. And then I'm going to turn this back on. Okay, and then I'm going to enlarge, and I'm going to color pick white. And I'm going to just put in the whites of their eyes. Oops, undo, make that a little bigger, and drop. Come here and drop. Come here and drop. Same thing here, we're going to drop in both his eyes. Okay, and we're going to drop here. Awesome. Now I'm going to do one more layer. I'm going to come up here at the top, add a layer, and this layer is going to be black. And this is going to be for their eyes. There. Anywhere I want to add black, actually. Okay, so I'm going to come here and double tap in the black area to get black. And then I'm going to increase the size here. And I'm going to drop. Oops, wrong thing. Drop here. So I still haven't done his antennas or his colors of his eyes. So let me check here. Her eye needs a color. So I think I'm going to go back to the blue, color pick it, and drag it to her eye there. He's fine, he's fine. And then this guy needs some color. And then I need to do his eyelids. So for his eyelids, they want to do purple. So I'm going to go to the purple layer. There's the purple layer. I'm going to choose or color pick the purple and then do his eyelids. And his little antennae. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out, and then I'm going to turn the background off again, way down here at the bottom. And I'm going to check to see if there's anything that's missing. And nope, looks like everything is okay. Everything looks fine. So zooming in, everything has been color dropped. And I have several layers. Okay, so this is all we're going to do for today. Go ahead and save this as a Procreate file because we are still working on it. So click the wrench, share, and Procreate, and save that to your Google Drive.